Should we talk about rumours?
Everyone wants Dak and Gwyn on frameworks, right? Like the all-American dream. It would be so cool.
It's all right. He was a bit enduro curious, and he scratched that itch.
Yeah.
And now he's coming back into the downhill fold.
If I can't beat him on the track, I'm gonna kill him in the car park. What's the biggest podding disaster of your career?
Oh, that's a horrible question to answer, isn't it? All right, the final episode of the year of Downtime Debrief. Once again, Jonny and Ben are not in the building, but in the online building. Plenty to chat about before the year ends. Jonny, how's the World Cup withdrawal? We're a good few weeks out of the season now.
Yeah, it's been hitting me hard. There was definitely a period post the finals in Mont Saint Anne where I was like, what am I going to watch? What am I going to listen to? I think all the post-race stuff had finished from the various forms of media, and I just then went hunting on various forums looking for gossip about team rumours, basically, and that seemed dried up as well. So,
well, the Vital forums sort of fired up again a little bit recently, and I think we're like 54 pages deep into 2026 rumours now.
Really? Yeah. Well, I think there was a couple of snippets. There was, the YT shenanigans definitely kind of like wound up the internet.
Yeah.
Which, you did a good job of, shedding some light on that situation. But it certainly wound more people up. And then I think there's the rumour of, I don't know, should we talk about rumours?
You can talk about rumours. They're on the forums, right?
They are on the forums. Joe Breeden's team to Nukeproof.
That'd be cool, eh?
Be really good to see Nukeproof back on the scene, I think, personally. So I think that would be a good fit for him and the team.
Yeah, that was impressive sleuthing from whoever on Vital found a picture that Clive Gosling had posted, the new Nukeproof marketing director, that showed like an inch of the front of a black pair of Vans that they then matched to a photograph of Joe Breeden wearing the same pair of Vans. Like, I mean, next level, fair play, props to some of the lot on Vital.
Yeah, well, this compares with, I think it was Frecklegate a couple of years ago, where they were kind of like linking, I think, Aaron Gwyn's hand to something or another. So there's definitely some proper people with more time on their hands than me.
Impressive. What about you, Ben? Go on, mate.
What's the crack? So if there's no intense team, that's like one gearbox less.
Yeah,
what's happened to? Is the Gates thing over now, or is the Gates thing carrying on for another year? Or?
I believe it rolls over. Yeah, I think because it wasn't one. I think that was the initial thing. Like it keeps rolling over until someone wins it. But yeah, that technically it's one less belt-driven team. But whether someone else takes up that mantle, I don't know. Yeah. Interesting,
okay.
eh?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think I'm missing it as bad as you and Jonny. But I am missing the podcast content. I've had to transfer to some mainstream podcasts.
What's your mainstream podcast of choice, Ben?
I've been listening to Blind Boy podcast.
I love recently. A bit of Blind Boy.
Yeah, which
big
is
fan.
Pretty crazy. Some awesome swearing and some incredible connections being made.
Yeah, he is the best at rambling stories that start somewhere and end somewhere completely different that you just don't expect.
Yeah. I heard a good one about Madeira recently that had involved bikes as well, relevant to this podcast, I suppose,
Blind Boy.
just about, yeah.
Oh, okay, I'll have to check that out. And you're not spending all day, every day like Jonny in the Vital Forum, no?
No, I haven't looked at it actually, so I'm quite impressed to hear that it's 50-odd pages deep.
You've got some catching up to do.
Yeah, well, I've got Christmas to fill, so.
Yeah, fair point. What rumours are you liking the look of, Jonny?
I think everything's kind of out there. I think we discussed some stuff last time, and I think it was only the Nukeproof stuff that we'd not.
Dak to Scott we didn't have last time.
What?
Yeah, Dak to Scott, and then I also saw a rumour that Dak is staying at Monraker.
Interesting.
So, yeah, I don't know about Dak to Scott.
Which would you prefer?
I'd like it. Stay where I'd like him just to get paid. Just stay on the same bike. The poor guy always seems to kind of like get going, and hip injuries aside, and then he moves brands, and he's got to go and start from scratch, like trying to figure out another puzzle. So it'd be good to see some continuity, but got to go where he's going to get the most, value for himself, I think. So, which is, I don't know. If have they got space on Scott? The guy retired, didn't he?
Did Gonzalo retire? Oh no, Levesque, Dylan Levesque.
Yeah, because that Mont-Saint-Anne was his last World Cup, I think.
Yeah, interesting. And Oisin was spotted this week, I think, at a Trek pre-season camp, apparently in California, according to the forum, which is good. I think that's a cool move.
Yeah, I think that would be good. There's quite a good vibe on that team if they can kind of sort out get some continuity with their bike, I think, reading between the lines. So
yeah, fair. And the latest one that was interesting was Max Alran spotted in Fox gear on a motocross bike with speculation that he was going to Norco. I think that's just that Darko don't make motocross kit.
Yeah, and it's really common for these guys to wear non-mountain bike sponsor kit on their crosses. It happens every year, so I wouldn't read anything into it.
Do the kids call them crosses, or is that just us old boys?
That's just old boys. Because when we go riding down on the illegal sand tracks on crosses, get chased by the Roswells.
Crosses become not the cool word for motocross bikes?
Oh, I don't know.
What is the cool word for motocross bikes?
Don't know what the kids call them.
What are they called now?
Motos.
Yeah, I'm going to go ride moto.
Yeah. Moto.
Maybe from the south of England.
What about the biggest team rumours? I heard Downtime Goes Downhill might be coming back.
Yes, please.
Who do we need to persuade? Benoit, I think you're on board, right?
Yeah. Last year was a mistake.
Did you miss it this year?
The same. I missed it. Yeah, I admit it. I missed it.
Did you miss us?
I missed you guys.
Look, it's all right. He was a bit enduro curious, and he scratched that itch.
Yeah.
And now he's coming back into the downhill fold.
I've realised my error. Yeah.
I mean, it was the same for me. I also got enduro curious, and a little bit downhill scared. I think I just got a bit put off of it, and coming back and out of retirement and doing that Redwoods round at the end of this year was mint.
Back out of retirement.
Yeah, had a year off.
Dramatic.
I'd hung it up, but that was super. That was so good, and I'm well keen for it. And I'm pretty Johnny. You're down for a full season again, I guess.
Calendar, notwithstanding.
Yes. Yeah.
But I think, definitely as many Pierce as I can, and then if I can't get to one, I will try and fill it with something else, I think.
What, any other? Are you downhill curious to anything other than Pierce? Anyway?
I think it's venue dependent. Like, I'm quite keen to go to a good venue, but also not too far, relatively speaking. Like, I'm not going to Scotland. Like, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to Scotland.
From where you are, I mean, from here it's a mission. From you, it's just a big trip. It's impressive, though, isn't it? The commitment that people put into racing.
Yeah, massively. But I think this was back in the day. I remember just doing miles and miles and miles and miles without, caring the world, really. But I think a lot of us had not a care in the world back then, so...
Yeah, but families put in the graft and got us to places and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, fair play to all the parents that get dragged around the countries looking after their kids going racing stuff. It's pretty cool. Well, any enduro plans for this year then? I'd fancy I'd like to go to Bolly Skyline again because that was mint. Josh's race.
Ben, what?
No, that's just downhill.
Is it gone?
It'd be great to do a full Pierce series. I think committing to do all 4 races and aiming at how can I do overall as well would be it'd be a bit of that'd be different. That'd be something new.
You want to win the overall, that's what you're saying.
I don't want to win the overall. It's You want
to beat Johnny in the overall.
Well, obviously what I've really missed this year is the motivation of trying to beat Johnny. Life wasn't the same without that. I don't really. So I'm going to go wherever he goes, basically. So it's not
you're going to follow him and try and beat him. You've missed it as well, Johnny, right? You've missed that, like, someone to battle against. I mean, you found your own people to battle in the races, but
there's always somebody to battle with. It's just it's just like fun hanging out with you guys. Like, it's better with you guys there. And the amount of time I was asked where Ben was or where Chris Hall was, and I had to kind of like explain their life choices. It was, you were missed. You're not just by me, it would appear. So,
who's nice. Been your nemesis this year then, Johnny? Have you had a nemesis?
I don't have a nemesis. I've never, You're generally so easy to beat. You're not really a nemesis. So.
What does Roots and Rain say? That gives you a nemesis,
Roots and Rain probably puts Benoit far ahead of me, actually. But I don't really get caught up in trying to beat anyone, to be honest.
You say that.
I'm just trying to not beat myself most of the time.
Yeah, fair play. You didn't beat yourself too much this year, though, eh? It was the year before when you sorry.
I tried to keep that away from the races.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah. There's some like athlete rule, isn't there? Of
we're going down a dark road here, Benoit.
Anyway,
back on track.
But while we're on enduro, Grit and Glory has got a bit better. Does anyone watch all of them? I have, and it has got a bit better. No,
I forgot about it, to be honest. Okay. Some other people have thrown some other stuff up. I think there's a Loic Bruni thing that's pretty good that you mentioned.
The Loic Bruni boombox video that's on Red Bull Bike is really good, and Louis' like final Bruni Files episode also really good, like properly sort of behind the scenes of that final round and what went on and the emotion stuff. Like, well worth, both of those are worth a watch for sure. Yeah. But yeah, Grit and Glory, it looks like they find their feet a little bit with it. Like, it could still be more engaging for sure. And it's still not, I mean, it was never going to be Drive to Survive, right? Like the production spend on that must be huge. But yeah, they definitely found their feet a bit, and there was a bit more insight in some of the later ones with especially with some of the newer riders like Winnie and Simona and stuff. So it's pretty cool. Yeah.
Cool.
We should talk about bike stuff. I rode a normal bike without a motor fairly recently for 3.5 hours, believe it or not. And it was actually Nomad, Santa Cruz Nomad. It sprung had just had the suspension and given that a good bit of love. And it does. I forget how much difference that makes, especially in like how sensitive it is. Like that kind of suppleness in the top part of the stroke is way better, and therefore grip was better. But yeah, it wasn't super painful. Quite enjoyed it. It was nice to actually pedal and realize, like, you remember what effort is required to actually go on a bike ride rather than just charging something up and blasting around on it.
I think you're a bit fitter as well now, Eric.
I am getting healthier. The fact that I was able to ride a normal bike for 3.5 hours and actually recover within 24 hours from it was quite a nice feeling, to be fair. I was pretty stoked on that. I mean, that's every day for you, isn't it, Ben? You're still sans E.
Can't really contribute to this conversation, so I'll just make myself busy elsewhere till you finish.
You've been riding quite a bit though, eh?
Yeah, a bit more. I was out in the mud and filth at the weekend, going back to Scott bikes. There was some guy there on one of those Scott Enduro bikes with like the old fully enclosed shock and stuff. I was thinking, I like that in these conditions. That's going to be way better.
That makes sense. Yeah.
No, I've been out a bit more. I think, like I said before, I cycle a lot for work these days as well, so I get a bit of like zone 1 and 2. Good few 4 or 5 hours of that in each week through work, just pootling around the city. It's not particularly exciting. Well, sometimes it is a bit exciting, but in general,
not in a good way.
Not in a good way. That's good for the mind as well as the body.
For sure.
Yeah.
A bit of pedaling hours. And
less running recently.
Yeah,
more
good.
riding.
I'm glad to hear it. Yeah. I spotted you running an Argotau, which I'll just throw out there is the best UK winter tyre. We can talk a bit about that. with a Zenithal on the back, which is like not quite semi-slick, but like fast rolling summer tyre in the mud. What are you up to?
Is that how you pronounce it? Zenithal?
Well, that's how I pronounce it.
Right.
Might be right, might be wrong.
Yeah, that's their like dry. I was like, I'll get one of those just in case it's really hot, dry weather and I need it for something. And
so you did the opposite.
Even though it was nice and dry. And I thought I'd better give it a try. And it's awesome.
Slop.
It's awesome in the slop. It's like it's not really a semi-slick. It's a fairly aggressive tread pattern. It's a bit like another major competitor's dry conditions tyre, but it's kind of a lower profile across the centre. So it's still got plenty of grit around the sides, and it's just, as extolling its virtues on Sunday, it's just like a lot of fun. You can like slide the back end around, and then it'll stick on the edges. It brakes okay, it climbs fine. Just like a lot of fun.
Does it roll much faster than a crypto rear?
I don't know. It's difficult to tell, really. I don't think any of them are really that great. I've had an Argo on the back as well, and I can't really tell the difference.
Really? Okay. Yeah. Well, you've got strong legs though, mate. I'd probably notice.
Maybe. Yeah, it's amazing. I basically put it on so I could talk about it and say it was no good in those conditions. I'm going to keep it on all winter. Yeah.
Oh, fair play. Yeah. I am a big Argotau fan. I'll throw that out there though. Like, I've had it on for, I don't know, 6 weeks now because it's been pretty wet. And we went riding in the slot at Forest of Dean on the weekend with a crypto rear on the back. I haven't gone Zenithal. And I think, the confidence that Argotau gives me up front, and combined with the confidence I've got in that Santa Cruz Valor now, like that's probably the hardest, like most committed I've ridden in muddy conditions ever, I think. Because I know the front's going to have a pretty good chance of sticking, and I know I've got good support in the back. It was proper good fun. Like, I'm impressed with that tire, and it clears pretty good too, to be fair.
Yeah, nice. Impressed by all their range, really.
Yeah, and wear seems good. I've been
quite impressed with that.
Anything.
Yeah. Running the cryptos I didn't end up racing on anything other than cryptos, and I replaced them at one round just because I could. Sort of a little bit more edge in the wet conditions, but the set I took off, I'm keeping for using again because they're so good.
Nice. And you've been doing heaps of riding since the season, yeah, Johnny?
Should we not talk about my lack of riding? I've been going to lots of hockey matches though, and football matches.
This is taking your kids around to places, not competing in hockey and football.
Not competing in hockey. My son plays under 16s and men's hockey for Alran.
So you've got that sprung-tuned Canyon Sender sat there, and you've not ridden it.
And it's clean. It's got Argotau's on, and it is raring to go. But I haven't had time to ride it at the moment.
So downhill bike time for all of us has been a challenge, right? And I feel like it's, especially for you, Johnny, like probably the biggest unlock in race performance. How are you going to solve that equation?
I'm going to try and get to probably Bike Park Wales, I guess. Like try and get there once a month over the winter, and just
on the downhill bike.
On the downhill bike, and just get some more time in. Put that newly tuned suspension through its paces, and then you maybe chat to Jake about any changes, and just more time on the bike because that bike's so good. So
interesting. Have you been to Bike Park Wales since they put in some new, more techie stuff? I haven't, but I've heard pretty good things.
There's that new track, isn't there, that they did like
Uchavi, which opened recently, yeah. And then there was another like downhill style track, but I've not been for a good while.
No, I think one of them is like a very much more a downhill track that we would race on as opposed to a bike park track.
Yeah. So, more techy, like more natural than just supported berms, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Cool. What about you, Ben? Because obviously you've had a year off the downhill bike. You might have taken it out once or twice, but you've got some getting up to speed to do, right?
Pains me that bike's sat there unused for so much. I haven't ridden. It is an issue. I think I just need an e-bike, basically. My approach would be just ride time on a bike, any bike, hours downhill. Doesn't matter if it's not a downhill bike. To get hold of something with a battery and a motor so I can get more laps in, basically. Laps without a Z.
Yes, without a Z. Yeah. I genuinely would say, like, for bike time and for time spent descending, especially in the winter, for me, e-bikes are a game changer. Like, just I don't know why, but it's easier to get my head around the thought of going out on an e-bike on a rubbish, rainy, wet, slippery winter's day. I think because you're not, like, you're battling the elements, but you're not battling your fitness. Like, you can choose to not work too hard on the climbs and enjoy the descents. And yeah, you get wet and cold and you got clean up to do, but you're not like going out and ragging yourself and trying to drag a bike up sticky like climbs and stuff. I think there's definitely something to be said. And I mean, it's a luxury in it, but like e-bikes in the winter are even more valuable, I think. I don't know. What do you think, Johnny? I mean, your bike time's limited, but
it's my go-to, especially in the. I was about to say especially in the winter, but no, in the summer as well. It's like the value for time is amazing for anyone who's time constrained. And to your point, in the winter, it removes that slog aspect, because quite a few places that I ride in the wet, the uphills they kind of turn to treacle, and it's energy sapping. And all of a sudden you can replace that with, an e-bike, and it kind of like it negates that aspect. And then you get to enjoy the downhills that are the same texture, but just they're fun in that condition. Remember when we tested those canyons?
Yeah.
And it was super wet, but it was so much fun. Admittedly, absolutely tiring because we were. But those conditions, I like riding in the wet. And e-bike makes it easier to ride in those conditions.
Yeah. Have you seen the video Win posted today? I think riding some of your stuff, the stuff that we've ridden with you at ridiculous speed with zero traction, because it gets real slippery, doesn't it? On that chalky stuff. You should check out Win's video from today. It's it'll give you something to aim at. Put it that way. Next level. You guys wanted to ask some podcast related stuff, I think, before we start like talking about some of the products of the year.
Ben's got a wicked list he's going to work through.
Right.
Which he's lost.
I'll kick off. No. Okay. Right. Question 1.
I'm going to struggle with these.
Everyone probably thinks you lead the life of Riley, prancing around with your mics
100%.
and your headphones. And everyone comes knocking on your door. So what's the hardest part of running the podcast?
Hardest part of running the podcast? The hardest part of running the podcast is keeping the podcast going financially, I guess. Because like it's my full-time job. It has been for 8 years, which is crazy. And we're still going somehow. And especially this year with everyone knows the state of the bike industry is not amazing. We see bike companies sadly go pop, and thankfully some of them coming back as well over the last couple of years. Everyone's marketing budgets are constrained. So that's the hardest bit. It doesn't mean everything else is easy, but making it financially viable, and it depends how you define financially viable. Like, I don't expect to be rich from it, but like paying the mortgage and keeping everything going. And it's got more expensive. Like, video makes things a lot more complicated and a lot more time consuming. And I am glad we did it. Like, it's the right thing for us to be doing. But it adds a bit of cost to the business, so to speak. But it's been cool this year. Like, we were pretty screwed with the pre and post race stuff. And we're not totally unscrewed, but like we got a lot of support on Patreon from people, and that made a massive difference. Like, that really helped keep that going throughout the year. And Nico, Ollie and Chris obviously always super helpful and making that happen. So yeah, massive thanks to those guys and to everyone that supported on Patreon, because that did make the that side of things much less painful than it looked like it was going to be this year. There you go. There's my answer.
Wicked.
Right, is that acceptable? How much time is spent on like the looking for income side of things?
Less than I should
compared to like
probably.
The recording and
at this time of year, it's probably like 20% podcast, 80% finances.
Yeah,
because there's like a budget cycle in the sport, I guess, in the industry where people are working on their marketing budgets for 2026 now. So like I'm trying to find chunks of that marketing budget while they're doing that. And then obviously you've got to maintain those relationships and keep up to date with all of that through the year. So there's an element of that kind of all year long. And then other stuff will drop in, or you'll meet people, or there'll be opportunities arise. So it's probably like this time of year, it's heavy on that, like sales in inverted commas. I don't really like that term, but yeah, sales side. And it then like probably bubbles along at like 15 to 20% of the work the rest of the year. Okay. But yeah, this like September to January is pretty hectic for sales stuff. Be nice to be 100% content focused. That would make life a lot easier. But that's life.
Staff.
One day when we got a big team.
Yeah. That means I think it was Dak. He was obviously a god. Let's just put that in there whilst we're mentioning his name. He said something like, "Yeah, those downtime guys, they're always trying to get me to do something there." I was like, "It's not really." There's maybe like 1.2 of you. It's not really plural.
Yeah. Well, so we had a Works Christmas do.
Hey.
On Saturday, I was riding with Ben, who does video stuff for me now, and he does like 6 hours a week. So yeah, 1.2-ish, I guess. And Archie, who was doing that job before, and we all went riding at Riska on Saturday, and then we went to the Tiny Rebel Brewery so I could buy them burgers and beer, although Archie did buy the beer in the end. But yeah, so that was nice. It's actually the first time me and Ben have ever met in person. It's the first time I've ever met Archie in the UK, and it was the first time Archie'd ever ridden a bike in Wales. So it was a lot of firsts. It was cool. It was really good. So shout out to the Riska riders, because they build incredible trails, and the work they've done there is insane, not just in trail building, but in like working with National Resources Wales and I guess local councils and all that kind of stuff to make those trails legit. And the level of maintenance and commitment they've got to that trail network is unbelievable. Like I met them, they were out at Atlas Ryco, a load of them in the summer when I was there, and I met a load of those guys, and yeah, fair play, committed, like seriously into it, and want to leave like a legacy of this insane trail network, which is very cool. So yeah, anyone that's like working on trail stuff can look to Riska riders for inspiration. They're a solid bunch.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you want to chip in, Johnny?
Yeah, what was your most enjoyable podcast?
Oh, that's a horrible question to answer, isn't it? Because you're like but choosing favourites out of guests.
Yeah, fine. Choose the favourites. Present company excluded.
Well, I mean, these ones are the best.
Or maybe most surprising. Like, what did you go in thinking one thing and coming out thinking something different?
And maybe not surprising, but I really enjoyed sitting down with Winnie Goldsberry, that episode. I think it's cool that we've got some really exciting women coming up through the ranks in Enduro, with like Winnie and Simona and Nadine and a few others. And that she's just like super chill, funny, really enjoy chatting, kind of keen to see where she ends up headed, along with where that whole discipline ends up heading over the next few years. I think will be interesting. That was really cool. Always love a chat with Rat. It's always nice to catch up with Josh. Like, he's just a good human, and
the philosopher.
Like, he's a legend of the sport for good reason. I remember the first time I interviewed him, I was so nervous, and he was just like super chill, disarming straight away. Really nice, really easy to get on with. And I've just got to know him a bit better over the years, so that's always really nice. And then Annie Ford was another one that I thought was really interesting. I like obviously knew what she'd done and had a bit of a feel for what she might be like, but I'd never met her. I didn't know much about her, and I just thought like, there was quite a lot there that I think was really interesting and applicable to many people, and was a bit different. Like, it's nice, I love interviewing the racers and the people that are at the top of the sport. It is really cool, but I also like the other people doing super interesting stuff and leading interesting lives that just happen to have a bike element to them. And I think Annie's one of the standout ones of those from this year, I would say. I don't know, what's your favourite episode of the year, Jonny?
Along those lines, I really enjoyed the one you did not too long ago with the guy who runs, is it High Country?
Chris from Team High Country. Yeah, he's a cool dude.
And I really enjoyed the ones that shed a bit more light onto like the bits of the sport that we don't actually maybe understand or know. So I think those have been not only educational but just like downright interesting. My favourite's probably the pre-race show with Chris Kilmurray.
Yeah, it's a good geek out, isn't it? He speaks my language, and it's I could probably listen to a lot more of that. And that little special Patreon get together that you did with him, Nico, and Ollie. Yeah. We should do another one of those, maybe pre-season or something. That was a good evening.
That was, and I like it when you put those people together, because quite often you at some point you sat back and the three of them were just like, oh, did you do this? And it was just like, it's like sitting in a pub with your back to somebody and just listening in on a conversation.
I'd love to get those three together somewhere, like in person, and have like an in-person thing, because it's harder online, as everyone knows. That everyone's sat in work online, or a lot of people are sat in online calls for work, and it's hard to know when to talk and not talk over each other. And like, the more people you put in the call, the harder it gets. And it's the same for podcasts. Like, they're okay online, and then modern technology's made them easier, but so much better in person. So getting those three together in a room maybe at some point would be good fun. Maybe we should try and do it at a World Cup.
The Mind Trust.
There's some good brains between those three. And they're all very busy on their plans for next year. I think I briefly spoke to Ollie today. That I know they've got a lot of stuff going on.
Got that Nukeproof to sort out.
Who knows? Nico's got team camp planning and new team riders and all kinds of stuff. So
Dak, come on.
This is it. Everyone wants Dak and Gwyn on frameworks, right? Like the all-American dream. It would be so cool.
There's all these guys going, if I won the lottery, I'd just send all the money to Nico so he can get Dak and Gwyn.
Would be good.
Dream team. Would be good. Yeah. Following on from that then, most wanted guest for 2026. I mean,
it's got to be Steve Pete, hasn't it? Hard man to get hold of.
He doesn't podcast, does he?
He doesn't podcast. Doesn't appear to podcast. He claims he doesn't know what a podcast is. But
what ifs?
Who knows? One day, maybe. One day, when he's ready, it would be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
If you know Steve Pete, give him a nudge for us. I think. I mean, it would be like, as a UK person of my age growing up as a mountain bike fan, it's got to be Steve Pete, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, there's plenty of others that I'd love to have on the show, but like, I think I would, that would be my one choice if I could have that genie magic wish, whatever you want to call it.
That's probably not the answer. Well, I don't know what answer I was expecting, but
who would you have?
Who would I have?
Yeah, who
I'd have as a guest on your show.
Go on.
Seb Kemp,
man, Seb Kemp.
Come on, I've been asking for this for years.
He was in the UK recently, but
I know, he was in Sheffield recently.
I only saw him briefly, but for people that don't know who Seb Kemp is, he's I think the right title would be Global Marketing Director at Santa Cruz. Very competent journalist, very fast bike rider, and was basically standing in as kind of team manager, pit manager, I don't know what you want to call it, for Santa Cruz Syndicate this year, as well as doing marketing director for Santa Cruz, which is impressive in itself. But then,
and he's a Brit.
And he's a Brit, but lives in Whistler. So yeah, really interesting guy. And
he's a lifer.
Yeah, he's a lifer. But yeah, we should. I mean, I'm keen. He knows I'm keen, and one day we will make it happen. But we want to do it in person. So
go to Whistler.
We can talk about that. Jonny, who would you have that we haven't had?
Nico.
Julio.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, it would be cool. He was good on that Loic Bruni documentary thing, hey? Like to see those two together and hear his take on like his popularity or lack of popularity back in the day and how he approached racing was really interesting.
Yeah. I like the fact that Loic called out Rob by saying that if he'd have been nicer, he'd have stayed around.
Yeah. It was funny. Right, what else you got?
What's the biggest podding disaster of your career?
Podding disaster of my career.
Where you got to the end and like it hadn't recorded, or
worst podcasting moment was Tom Walker, the guy who fell off the railway gap in Canada, because we sat down and he started telling his story, which is obviously very powerful and hard story to hear or to tell. And about 20 minutes in, I looked down and realized that I hadn't pressed record on the audio recorder. The cameras were rolling, but the audio recorder was not. So in my head, I was like, right, what do we do here? I was like, I'm going to have to just tell him, aren't I? Because I can't use the camera audio because it won't sound very good. So yeah, I was like, I'm really sorry, dude, but I haven't recorded any of this. And bless him, he was really good about it. He was like, oh, that's cool. Like, I was a bit nervous when we started, but now I'm kind of like into it. I think I can do a better job. Like, we'll just go again from the start.
Wow.
And which is so cool of him, because that's a hell of a tale to tell. Like, I think I'd rather have hit record on that than like, an interview with a world champion or something. I'd rather mess up the world champion than mess up something as strongly emotive as that tale. But as a result, I think we got a really good episode, and I really appreciated him telling that story. And then we went for a mint bike ride afterwards, and he absolutely shreds. Like, he's an insanely good rider. So yeah, it was a good day. But yeah, that was probably podcasting's lowest moment for me. But luckily, we didn't do the whole episode. We only got 20 minutes in.
Yeah, can you imagine?
It must have happened to most podcasters at some point.
Oh, for sure. Like, I mean, some people, like, I guess all these celebrities that do it, I'm sure someone presses the record button for them and does all that stuff. But like, for those of us that do it ourselves, then yeah, I'm sure everyone at some points forgot. Especially now, there's a lot of buttons to press. Like, you got 3 cameras, audio feeds, lights. There's like a lot of things you can mess up. I think people don't realize quite what's going. Like, if people critique an interview, they don't necessarily realize that you're monitoring 2 audio feeds, 3 camera feeds, making sure you've done everything, trying to like make the conversation flow. And so you're listening to the guest, thinking about where you're going to take that, and making sure all the tech's still running. There's quite a lot going on in your head at the time. Like, it's not just sitting down having a chat, which is what a lot of people think, I think. I mean, for some people, maybe it is just sitting down having a chat. Like, if you've got a full crew around you and professionals doing all that stuff, then that takes it off of you. But like, for me, it's generally just me in the room. So there's a lot of stuff going on. But
well, I think as well, when you've gone to see somebody, there's maybe a story you want to bring out, or there's certain questions that you want to kind of delve into, as opposed to, say, like this forum where, it's going to happen 4 times a year. There's going to be a chat. We don't need that kind of like, there's not that pressure on it, say. Whereas, say, when you go out somewhere, it's like, well, I don't have another chance.
Yeah, totally.
Unless you fail to hit record.
Then you get another go. But yeah, completely. I normally have like...
Let's record. Can we start again, please?
I normally have like I do quite a lot of research, and I've got a pretty good feel for what I want to get into with a guest. But then sometimes things will come up and you're like, oh, I didn't know that about them, or like, that's really interesting. You go up somewhere different. Like, I mean, there's been a lot of those, but Christian Textos kind of stands out. That just went all over the shop in a really good way. Like stuff that I didn't know. And often that's, like with guests that maybe there's not so much interview content or other podcasts out there around, that in a way is quite intimidating, but it's also quite exciting because you just don't really know where it's going to go. Like you can't be super prepared for it. Whereas like a Danny McCaskill was like a week of prep, like I read his book cover to cover. I consumed all of his videos. I read most interviews with him. I listened to most podcasts with him. Like it's a good 40 plus hours of prep. So you go in and I even said to him, like, it's pretty weird. I feel like I know you better than you. Like that minute when you sit down for the interview, you know so much about that person that they've probably forgotten. Like it is quite weird sometimes. So yeah, something like that is a lot of work. And then you go into an up and coming athlete that has maybe done one interview or no interviews, and then you've got nothing. So it's very different style or approach of interview, but I like both.
It's amazing these days how better the younger kids are.
About media.
Yeah. It's like I think Ollie Clark stood out as somebody who I didn't have like high expectations of how he'd get on when you interviewed him, but I was pretty impressed. Ellie Husebosch,
yeah,
she was really good, and I've heard her on a couple of other pods, and she's wise head on young shoulders kind of thing.
Yeah.
Whereas back in the day, I think that there were some guests that you had on that were weren't young and didn't really know what they were doing. Speaking to you,
I think. Yeah, and I think like people know what a podcast is now more than they did. Like genuinely, people didn't really know what a podcast was. Like it's a different form of interview, isn't it? In that people expect a longer answer than yeah, nah, yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like I think people come interview. People come now knowing they want you to expand. And I think if people have listened to Downtime, they also kind of know roughly what sort of angle I might take, or what a Downtime listener might expect to hear about or want to know, kind of thing. So yeah, I think as there's more clarity around the podcasting and about Downtime, like you get better answers. But I'm sure there's always still people that are nervous, right?
Yep.
But that's my job to try and help them feel a bit less nervous and get the best out of them, which is not always easy. But
are your guests, are they generally there? Are they there because it's their job and they've got to come along, or are they there because they've got a story to tell? I guess it varies.
It's a mix.
Yeah, it varies.
Yeah. I think most people these days aren't doing it under duress. Like I think most people are like up for it. Mm-hmm. Some people are definitely like stoked to be asked and like flattered to be asked, which is unbelievable. Super nice when people feel that way about it. Some people put themselves forward, which is cool. Okay. Even some like pretty big names might put themselves forward. And then others, you maybe like you need to wrangle them a little bit via like the team or a brand that they ride for or whatever. But I think most people are like broadly okay with doing it these days. There aren't many that have been strong armed by the person they work for to sit down and chat, I don't think.
Cool.
Johnny's just letting you ask questions, but
is that enough? More?
All right, got questions you can ask.
Let's roll three in. Can we? We'll roll like there's three that go together, I suppose. Like, what's your favourite event this year, or your favourite work trip that you went on? And if there's somewhere you haven't been that you'd like to podcast from,
I mean that's easy.
Where would that
Whistler.
Be? Okay.
And there is a World Cup there.
Whilst you're out there, yeah.
Oh yes.
So that would be quite nice. Don't know if that'll happen.
Nice. When is it? What time of year?
September, like early September maybe. Probably going to clash with the Pierce round.
It'd be pretty out there though, won't it?
It would be nice. Yeah. It would be cool. So maybe I've had a couple of conversations about trying to make that happen. Hasn't happened yet, but you never know. That would be cool. Yeah, so I'd like to go to Whistler. Best work trip this year? Good question. I'm trying to think where I've been.
That Boa one would look cool.
Yeah, Boa was super cool. Lear Gang, that was really nice. And it was just nice to hang out with them. Like, they're a really cool company and a nice bunch of people. Like, we went, there was a bank holiday on the Monday. I didn't have a bike, blah, blah, blah. So we set up this, like, for the recording on the Tuesday, and then we went for a hike up some local. It was more of a scramble than a hike, like pretty interesting bit of rock towards the top. That was super nice. Yeah, they were a good bunch. I really enjoyed that. It was a good trip. Enjoyed the La Tuile trip just because, I mean, Italy's always nice. We had some delicious pasta, some nice pizza. It was a good crew because the Misspent lot were out there doing their little pop-up thing with the Panda. And it was a new race venue for downhill, so that's pretty exciting. A ridiculously cool track. That was a good one. I think probably standout, though, was the opportunity to go out to Windrock early in the season with the Canyon lot for the Sender launch. So that was super cool. So Sam Pilgrim was there for the week. And not the person based on his YouTube videos that I would have said would be like the person I'd choose to hang out with all week, but he was an absolute lovely guy. Like, so just made everything more fun. Really cool to be around, and like wicked to see how much effort he puts into all the kids and stuff that are just frothing to meet him and ride with him and all that kind of stuff. We went to like a pump track jam one night, and like all these kids just wanted to do trains with Sam, and he was loving it, like just well into it. It was really cool. But yeah, he likes to turn things into fun. Like, we went out for Mexican food, and he was like, right, what's the hottest chilies that you've got, to the staff? And like, they brought a load of stuff out. He's like, no, it's hotter. Have you got anything hotter? And that was fun. And then, yeah, riding the bike with Fabian Burrell.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't really, like, the man knows so much about the sport. He's done so much in the sport. Hopefully he's in recovery well after that horrific crash he had recently. But yeah, so much knowledge. Like, I was struggling with a bit of arm pump, and he was like, he just went into so much detail. Like, where is it? Is it this bit of your arm, that bit of your arm, this bit, let's feel your brakes, change this. And like, within 2 runs, it was kind of sorted. Like, he just knew exactly what levers to pull to fix things. We rode a little bit with the team. So like Troy and Luca and Aletha and Marin came out, and Henry came out on the bikes on the second day. And there was a good group of journalists out there from Pink Bike, NSMB, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, it was just a really nice trip, to be fair. And we managed to squeeze in some podcast recordings. And then I hoofed it down to Rock Creek for the day before the Monster Energy Pro Series round, and interviewed Nico and Asa down there before I flew back, which was cool because people hadn't heard heaps from Asa at that point. And obviously he was about to tee up a pretty big season. So yeah, that would be the trip that kind of stands out. I managed to squeeze quite a lot out of it, and it was just really unique opportunity. And there was a lot of the World Cup lot, not a lot, but a good chunk of World Cup riders were out in Windrock, and it was, I forget anyway, over a long winter of like the sales bit that we talked about, and like just grinding through it. And then you go back to an event and people are there, and you kind of remember why you do it. And like, you know, I've become friends with a lot of these people in the sport, like not riders necessarily, but like staff and people that are at these things. It's just really nice. Like, it's like first day of school again kind of thing. So yeah, that was a cool trip because it like got that earlier than waiting for the first World Cup.
And did you say you get quite a bit of recognition in the States?
Yeah, more so than in the UK. Yeah. Like, I got stopped more trackside by people in the US than I do a race in the UK, which is weird. But maybe more people watch YouTube out there, so they know what I look like rather than just know my voice. I don't know. But it was cool. Yeah, I went up the track with Sam Pilgrim, and it was like anyone kind of like 25 and under, 100% didn't know who I was. Definitely knew Sam was. Anyone like 30 or above, like kind of might know who I am and weren't necessarily a Pilgrim fan. Like, it was a real split of like people that knew who I was and people who knew who Pilgrim was. So it was pretty funny. But yeah, it's cool. Yeah, Windrock's
you covered the whole demographic between the two of you.
Yeah, there you go. Mountain biking completed. But yeah, what Aaron's built at Windrock is phenomenal. Like, not just Aaron, the people before him with those guys that have kind of got it started, and then what Aaron's done since, like, it's making big strides forward. So yeah, it'd be cool to see more stuff going on. There's rumours of Hardline there. I don't know how true that is, but I've seen those rumours floating around.
Is that in terms of like the facility or the community or both, or
bit of everything really? Like, they've built like a whole kind of shop and car park area for it now. They've put loads more work in on the trails. Like, Aaron was stoked on his Kubota sponsorship because he gets all those cool diggers to go and dig tracks with, and he's like he's genuinely into it. I think 10 years ago people would have said like, Aaron Gwynn will come in, win a load of races, make a load of money, and then we'll never see him again. Do you know what I mean? I think people felt like he didn't really love the sport. He did it because he was good at it and he knew he could make money at it. But when you see him at Windrock, you realise like how much he genuinely does love it. Like, he's there heaps. He's out there in the digger building tracks. Like, he raced, but he basically worked the whole weekend, like trying to make the event go well with his wife. Like, the two of them just absolutely killing it, putting in crazy hours. So yeah, it's wicked to see the passion for that. And then yeah, it's creating a scene, right? Like, riders are moving. Like, Aletha Ostergaard's parents have bought a place near Windrock that they live at a good chunk of the year so that she can train there, because it's that good of a facility and a good community of fast riders. So yeah, it's nice. Really cool. Yeah.
We need that. We need a bit more of that in the UK.
Yeah, I mean, we got Dovey, right? But it's quite, it's a long way from anywhere. That's the biggest challenge, I think. It's got that community feel to it. And it doesn't really have a racing attached to it. Yeah, true. We don't really have any racing there. But yeah, who knows? Don't know what venue would take that on, really. It's hard to get somewhere that's like accessible in the UK and has good tracks, because we don't really have, all the big mountains are like a long way from most places. So it's a tricky balance to get right, isn't it?
Yeah.
Windrock's quite unique. Like, it's got a road up that was already there, kind of thing, that works perfectly for the uplift. It's this huge forest that they use for 4x4s. There's like a mad gun range you can hear all day with like grenades going off. There's these everyone in these insane 4x4s like driving up into the forest all weekend. You know, it's very American experience, like lots of fuel being burnt, and like it's a really cool experience. But yeah, really unique place. But as a result, it already had like a road to the top and loads of space to build trails and like a decent hill with loads of good terrain on it. So yeah, it's special.
Okay, I got 2 questions left. Yeah,
go.
They're a bit left field. So the first one is, if after the final Pierce round next year, round 4, Jonny and I were left in the car park without any weapons to fight to the death, who do you think would win?
You.
Okay, because
I think
I'm a lover, not a fighter.
Yeah, I think there's an inner strength, Ben, that would come through.
And he's a racing snake.
Yeah.
I think I'd win.
Yeah.
I think I could just wear him down. I'd just stay out of reach.
I just sit on you, Benoit.
If he gets hold of me, I'm done. So I've just got to wear him out, basically. Might take a while, but
you've given this a lot of thought.
Yeah.
That's what the off-season.
That's the first of it.
If I can't beat him on the track, I'm gonna kill him in the car park.
Yeah, so this all comes down to the final result, right? The overall and where you sit as to whether there's a bare knuckle fight. Okay.
Yeah. Right. Great.
Last one.
Glad to hear it. Last one. So we know, we've seen you in your pants. You're a hairy guy. So how often do you have to clear the hair out of the plug hole in your shower? Is it like weekly? Is it every day? Is it like several times during each shower that you take?
Well, this is a question I never thought I'd get asked on a podcast.
Or does Mrs. Downtime have to clean the hair
No, there's
out
like
of
a
the shower?
cover thing that goes over the plug hole to stop any hair going into the actual plug
That's got
hole.
to block up pretty fast.
Nah, and then just after every shower, like whoever has a shower, like women's hair also comes out of their heads, right? Like you just pick that hair up, chuck it in the bin, job done.
Okay.
Process. There's a process.
A process. Okay. Right. Thank you. Interview over.
Brilliant. Amazing. You've got a future ahead of you, Ben, in podcasting. For sure. Downtime. We should wrap up with some products of the year. I'll start off with one that's not from our sponsors at all. PE sealant. I've got that in every bike and I've not had any issues all year, which I
smells nice too.
Pretty good. I mean, I'm not a fan of the stuff. Like, I don't like the stuff because it's sticky and horrible, but I think all sealants are. And I always put like old clothes on to fit it because it inevitably gets on something. But functionally, I of all the sealants I've used, it's the best one I've tried so far. Like zero issues.
2026.
Yeah, come on, PEs. Yeah. New marketing director Rob Scherer, if you're listening. Would be nice, wouldn't it? We haven't had a cleaning brand help us out yet, but there you go. And then from brands that do support the show, that new Fox Rampage RS, which will try and get you boys for next year, the new full face, is like the best fitting full face I've ever worn. Super comfy and like, yeah, just fits my head really well. It'd be interesting to get it on you boys, especially Benoit's massive heat, and see if they've got a shell that works for you. But that's been real good. And then the updated Wahoo computers, I thought were a massive step improvement, and they all now go through that one Wahoo app, which makes life a lot easier. And the Conti Argo, which we mentioned, but like that Argotau tyre, especially on the front, pretty much year round is fine, but like especially when it gets sloppy, which the UK is pretty good at. Those would be my three, I think. Ben?
Well, we mentioned the Zynotal.
Zynotal,
and those Continental tyres, they smell so good when they're new.
They do smell nice. That is true. I hadn't thought about that. Yeah.
I'm a bit boring, but I think I might be the only one who got them, being an enduro boy. I got some Fox Ranger shorts, which I don't think are particularly fancy, but they're awesome. They're kind of like a lightweight, slightly stretchy material. I've raced in them. I've travelled in them. I've run in them, obviously. I think I've swum in them. They're awesome.
Stop there, Benoit.
There's all sorts in them.
I'm just trying to think if I've done a bike ride in a pair of shorts at all this year. I don't think
it's rare these days, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. They're amazing. They're probably relatively cheap in their line, but just like nothing fancy.
Yeah, the Ranger's the cheaper end.
Yeah, nothing fancy, just spot on.
I've got some that I've had running since 2017.
There you go.
Good effort. I've got a few pairs that are a good few years old and still going, but then I haven't worn them this year, so can't really comment. Anything else?
Yeah, the Wahoo subscription basically.
To use the program thing and all the online bits with the kicker. Yeah,
I use that quite a bit in the summer for some just core strength mobility stuff. Now it's dark and wet and horrible in Britain. I've got back on that. Works really well. Did you do a full Monty test recently? Oh yeah, I did do.
We haven't even talked about that. So you've got your pre-season numbers. Yeah, they're there. Can't even remember what they are now. Fair enough. We'll dig into that next year, right? We'll talk numbers and progress. Yeah. Because I haven't done one. I should do one. Yeah, I've been using it again a bit more. I mean, I use it for a lot of Zone 2 stuff all throughout the year, but I've been doing a bit more like structured interval stuff again through that Wahoo, like the subscription, and
this makes it easy. Cool. Yeah,
and keep stuff fresh, because otherwise you're like programming in like 20 seconds on, 40 seconds off, and it's kind of dull. Whereas there's just heaps of really good sessions in there and they're good at telling you like what each session's going to help you with as well, from like riding characteristics. Yeah. So you can tailor it. It's simple and it's good. Yeah.
Use your time efficiently. Yeah.
Anything else, or is that your lot?
My final one is emergency replacement charge valves from Sprung when you bend your charge valve 2 days before one of the few races you're doing that year. So shout out to Jake for sorting me out, get me out of that self-inflicted hole.
Good. I saw Jake on Saturday in the Forest of Dean, and he plans to be at all the Pierce rounds next year as well. So if you mess anything up, he'll be there to bail you out. B, he's going to try and race them as well, I think. So he'll be riding on track, which is cool. And then he'll be there if we need it. And I think if other customers need it as well, like for advice, like, the bike feels like it's doing this or that, or what would you change? So, because he's obviously ex-Mondraker World Cup team mechanic, so he knows his onions. So yeah, he's going to be out of the races next year, which is super cool. Johnny, products of the year.
Canyon, send the Gen 3.
It is very good, isn't it?
Yeah, really good. Really enjoyed racing that.
Shame you've not ridden it since the end of the season, really.
Yeah, it's just waiting for me.
You need to make it happen.
RockShox suspension as well on that, which I was
you like that, eh?
very pleasantly surprised with. So yeah, that was really good. Of our supporters, I'm just gonna the BOA shoes. I just love them.
The Fox Union BOA, yeah.
BOAs. Lucky enough to have more than one set. So given when we have inclement weather, also the Fox waterproof socks. Which
I've not used those yet. They're good.
Yeah, really good. They're
your dog walking socks.
They are. But I've just invested in a new set of boots, which are actually now waterproof. So
okay, you'd like to listen. There's some Blind Boy episodes where he talks about his Gore-Tex boots. You'd like that?
Yeah, I can probably match him for. I could probably test walking boots, to be honest.
You need to be testing more riding stuff, Johnny. This is the balance we got to get right, eh?
You know what, though? Take what you can get at the moment. You get a dog walking.
You spotted a pump track near one of the hockey things, though, right?
Yes. So, quick aside, I was down at Southampton on the weekend, and I rock up, and one of the other parents was there bringing their kid along, and she's like, "Is this where I bring you to mountain bike?" And I'm like, "What? Southampton? What are you talking about?" And he's like, yeah. Anyway, we get down to where the hockey pitches are, and up on the side there's like a downhill pump track and trails in the middle of the city. So
there you go.
There's a match down there. I'm sorry, Oscar, I'm not watching.
I genuinely, one of the most fun things that arrived in my garage this year is a Canyon Stitch, like their little jump bike. That thing is so fun. I've been stopping, deliberately planning long car journeys via Velo Solutions pump tracks so that I can get laps in. It's so much fun. I would highly recommend. I'm sure you could get a jump bike together for pretty cheap these days off buy and sell or eBay or wherever, some sketchy forum somewhere. But yeah, and it's got to be good for you, right? You ride a little bit, Ben, yeah?
Yeah. There's a little pump track near us. If you've got half an hour, it's an awesome quick blast. Get your heart rate up. Use your arms like you never use your arms anywhere else in life. Yeah.
It's got to be good for timing and stuff as well, I would have thought.
Do you remember that challenge that I did with my son?
Yeah, the pump track challenge in the garden.
Yeah, 1,000 laps, which we did for charity. I was ruined.
I bet. I do one lap and then need a rest of most pump tracks. I mean, that was a little small loop that you guys built in the garden, wasn't it? But
it took all day.
Yeah.
It's 26 kilometres, I think.
That's a lot of pump tracking.
26 kilometres.
How old was Oscar when he did that?
It was lockdowns 2020, so 9.
Fair play. 1,000 laps at 9.
And then we finished, and he's like, I'm just going to ride a little bit more.
Kids, mate.
Unbridled energy. Hands were ruined.
Probably the fittest you've ever been.
Yeah, true.
Happy days. All right, well, we should wrap up there. But I think we've got a fun year of actually getting to see each other in real life and hopefully racing some downhill, which would be mint. And so Downtime Goes Downhill, I think we'll be back for next year.
Do we need a new name?
Sponsors TBC. Yeah, we can work on names. I think people know Downtime Goes Downhill, right? I think people are keen to see it back. There's been a lot of comments this year of people asking us to bring it back. So, Yeah, should be good. But yeah, thanks, boys. The comeback tour. It's been a fun year. We haven't spent enough time together. Hopefully, we can remedy that next year. Yeah. So have a good Christmas. Don't eat too many mince pies. And
too late.
And we need to try and find a day to go riding downhill bikes together at some point before the season, right?
Sounds good.
For sure.
Nice one. Sounds good. See you later.
Happy Christmas.
Bye.